Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Discarded. I had some videos around COVID, but haven't done a whole lot since then and just been super busy. But thankfully, the gaming market doesn't wait for just me, or else everyone would be bored. But let's get right down to business. We're going to play some Supermarket Simulator here. I thoroughly enjoy this game, so I just kind of figured I'd go ahead and start my channel off again by playing some Supermarket Simulator and kind of helping out some new people. Hopefully I can provide some tips that other people don't know about, or maybe even help some new players get motivated to get it, because I think it's pretty great. The devs have worked really hard on it. You might recognize some of the assets that, you know, at least the art style, not necessarily the assets, but you can definitely tell that, you know, this style of art is really popular with this kind of game, with the simulator titles. But let's get into it, because I don't really like a whole lot of fluff. So first things first. Oh yeah. First things first, you'll notice I'm not very organized. So when this kind of comes to you in very unorganized chaos, that is why. And that's probably not going to get any better. So set your expectations low, people. But I want to start off with a great tip, because it's one of the first things that you're going to do. And that's to show you that you're only going to start with $50. And that doesn't seem like a whole lot. And that's because it isn't a whole lot. You know, even though the unit price here is only $3, you get 12 of them in a box. That means the whole box is $36. And I think that anyone that's out there, even if you're horrible at math, can tell that that means you're not going to be able to get all of these. Well, normally that, you know, in the start of a game, it doesn't seem like it would be a problem. However, contrary to that, it actually can be an issue, because in this game, all 6 of those products, or really whenever you have any license, all of the products that are available with those licenses, your customers are going to expect to see in your store. So therefore, you need to make sure you have all of them. So what I'm doing is they added this feature a while back, quite a while back actually, and it's the wholesale store, and they have several of them across town. I'm just going to set that there for now. I'll set them down in the store, and I'll set them on the shelves later. But essentially, the reason why I want to do this is because then you can get all 6 of these, and then that enables you to not have to worry about customers being upset that you don't have it. Seems simple, right? Good, because it is. Now, the other thing that you want to pay attention to is the reason why you're able to do that, and this is more for later consideration on what's worth going all the way over there for, because when you order from the computer here, it gets instantly delivered, and it's all right here. Even if you order a whole bunch of stuff, it just keeps stacking higher and higher and higher, and eventually they just kind of fall over, make a huge mess. It's pretty fun, and it's fun and funny at the same time the first few times it happens. But anyways, this wholesale, and I'm assuming all the other ones, because it's been a while since I've really regularly played it, and I didn't really utilize these because I didn't even know about them the last time I played with them. But the wholesale places sell for 50% of what the normal price is. I have to sneeze, so give me 1 second. Apparently that was a false alarm. But anyways, where were we? Oh yes. So I'm getting all 6 products at half the price you would normally have to pay. And it makes it kind of seem brain dead, like, well then, duh, dummy, I'll just go over here every single time. Well, I think you can notice that this is taking a considerable amount of time. This is time that those of you that are more patient and just have all the time in the world to just relax and play the game, this would hands down be the most efficient way to get your inventory. Now, the reason why I don't do that is I don't have that much time, which is why a lot of my videos is not going to have a whole lot of editing other than just the beginning and like the end and maybe some other spots that there's too much silence or, you know, whatever. Crap like that. But I'm going to try and show you as much of the game as possible without a lot of edits because I just don't have that much time. And I just kind of figured that it would be fun to try and help out people with the games that I like, and this is the first one that I'm really going to have that opportunity to do that. I don't know what else I'll upload, but it'll primarily be this one, but I also kind of like to bounce around the games. I don't really like to stick with one for too long of a time. But overall, this will be my main focus. And then I'm sure you just saw that gray car should have made me do flips and stuff like that, but got some good news. As of right now, in version 1.0.2, there's no collision with us and cars. I don't think we can just walk right through. Maybe we can. I don't know. I haven't never tried. But basically, you don't have to worry about dying. So that's cool. Okay. So next tip time is that whole time I was going up and down. See, this is normal speed, and then shift is a sprint. You get an unlimited sprint. So pretty much always sprint. Just act like you're working at Costco. It's going to be great. Next tip. I'm doing these double column because once you get up there a few more levels, you're going to want it to be that way due to the fact that, oops, so used to doing 6, but you're going to want it that way because once you get a little bit higher level, you're going to have a lot of people coming through your store, and you simply can't afford to have only one shelf because your stuff will go flying off the shelves. And it's not that they have a long-term negative effect for customers not being able to find stuff, but especially in the early game when money's really, really tight. I don't know why I'm running over there. I can't do anything. But especially when money's tight, then, well, you know what? I know I'm going to move this eventually, so I'm going to put that there. I'll put you right next to it. You'll find out why I did that later. But with money being tight, every lost opportunity of a sale is a massive dip in your overall percentage. So you definitely want to... Oh, crap. You know what I did? I did the dumb rookie move already. Close that real quick. So I'm a great big dummy, and I usually never forget this, but it took me a while to get my microphone settings to where I like them. And I forgot to set my prices. So the good news is when we very first got the game, it would actually sell it to them for nothing. You actually have to give it away. But now they at least give it to you for cost. So you can usually go about 25 cents is about the max that they'll accept as a majority. But in the beginning, I don't want to lose any sales. So I'm going to stay under 20 cents. Or I'm going to be at 20 cents or less for the majority of this stuff. Or going above the market price, because that's what they're willing to pay. And I'm showing you this spot here on purpose as where to set it, because this is an option. So if you wanted to set it here, then you know that you can. However, later on, you will see that there's a better place to do this at. This one I've been doing at 475 or above the 450, and nobody's complaining. So I'm going to keep doing that because we're in this for money, right? Okay. Now, Don't be discouraged on what you saw there with the closed sign and the time still passing. That's obviously because I opened the store. Normally, the time doesn't even start until you open your store. But then obviously once you start it, then it's going to keep going. So that's why you don't want to be a dummy like I was. Because I literally just costed myself a huge chunk of money. I don't think I'm going to want to see what my customer count is because it's usually 20, but who knows? Maybe I'll get a gift and I'll get a mad rush at the end. I seriously doubt it, though. But what I'm going to try with this particular playthrough is I'm going to tell you how I play, but then I'm also going to showcase things because I really just want to, show you all the different things that the devs have worked on to kind of show you that they've tried to add some creativity and some variety and just kind of all the different things that they've thought of. It's just because I don't like a certain part of a game or certain feature or tool or whatever. Just because I don't like it or I don't use it doesn't mean others don't. Because obviously we all play different games for different reasons and we all play them a different way. You play however you want to play. I'm not here to tell you that. All right. Well, first day open and we're already getting a celebrity. This right here, as you can see, is Midget Amber Heard. Thank you for visiting, Amber. Good to see you. I should have toilet paper later. Now you can use your keypad to type those numbers, or you can do it with your mouse. Unfortunately for me, my microphone arm is right in the path of where my right hand would need to go to the keypad. So it is just so much more convenient for me to use the mouse, so that's what I'm going to do. However, I think most people would use the keypad because they're used to it. Especially if you've ever been a cashier before, and believe me, it drives me nuts that I have to use my mouse. But I'm also not going to change where the location of my microphone is. But also in this playthrough, my strategy is to focus mostly on just trying to upgrade as fast as I can to the progress point that I want. And what I mean by that is, obviously in games like this, if you aren't familiar, you can buy upgrades to make the store bigger. And in this one, there's a storage room that is kind of a godsend when you get used to having boxes and stuff all over the floor here. But the storage room's right here. It's not unlocked yet, but it will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. So, but that is a huge undertaking. Any upgrades that you do increase your rent, and that shouldn't really come as much of a surprise because that's just kind of how life works, and that's definitely how literally every single landlord works. That if you rent more space, then they charge you more money. All right, and here we have Elena from the Vampire Diaries. I'm not sure what's going on with the rendering, but that wasn't... She rendered fine before the 1.0 release, so it's kind of funny that that's going on. There's a couple of bugs that do with that. She's one of them. And then if you look up here to bread. Like, see how nice and clear that is? Well, after a while, that'll kind of start to be a more cloudy wrapper. It's weird looking, but considering that nothing is game breaking, it's not that bad. Here we got probably, oh, looks like we got, hey, look at that. Hey, everyone. It's a referee from WCW. Hey, everyone. I don't know who to compare her to yet. But I will think of something for everybody. Rest assured. Because how do you run a neighborhood store without being able to, have your regulars? Talk to them and get to know them. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. And as you can see, people are still walking around. And I'm sure most of you noticed that it was 9 o'clock about when, some of those people were coming in, or, 9 o'clock well before they came in. And that is because they will still do that for a good chunk of time afterwards. But you see how there's like not that many people walking around right now? This is when you know that it's pretty much done. Now, if you have the door open and you just finished doing some stock, you're loading the shelves, and so you come out here and you look around and you see how this guy's like not walking anywhere near, like it's definitely over. So I personally like to go ahead and hit close, but you don't have to once you hit the button to go to the next day. So here's 17 customers. So that's, I would have thought it would have been worse than that. The money I definitely would have thought would have been way worse. So I'm actually thankful that the money is where it's at. Yeah, because it's usually right around 100 something anyways. So to be able to walk away with that after being a buffoon, then that's great. Okay, daily expenses. You'll receive daily bills starting today. Make sure to pay the bills using your computer before their due date, or they'll be paid automatically. The more electrical devices, the more expensive the bills. As far as I can tell, it does not matter whether these lights are on or off when it comes to that bill. I believe it's just the total number of electrical devices. But don't quote me on that because I don't know that absolutely for sure. So, next part. With this second run, because I'm actually going to try, there's a food license that you can get as the next thing if I were to follow through with the objective. Before I would be ready for the storage room, it would want me to go for another food license. I don't like to do that because, as you'll see here in a sec, that is an insane amount of boxes just sitting around, and that doesn't fly with me whatsoever. So, I am going to buy enough to have full shelves and at least one box of everything that's up there. So I just bought that, or I just did the one powdered sugar. Now I'm not going to do everything this time, because like I said, I am trying to do it as fast as possible. But part of being fast is not worrying about little tiny chunks of change. When you can spend this kind of walking, like I wouldn't want to walk all the way, or technically run all the way from the store to this wholesale place for really, really cheap stuff. I would rather just grab it from right outside the store. But I will with the bread, because the bread's really close to the powdered sugar. So I'm willing to do it with the bread this time. We'll just kind of see what sells, because it is done with RNG as far as what sells and what customers want when they come in. And so you can't just start a playthrough, see them buy a bunch of bread, and then be like, well, screw it, next time I'm just going to buy all bread and that's it. Well, you'll fail. people will hate you and your store will suck. So just know that any product could be wanted at any time. Hot products today might be nothing tomorrow. I remember when I was still working on the microphone settings, I didn't have any usable video in my opinion. So unfortunately I had to start over again. But when I was doing that playthrough, I had one day where I only sold 2 of the cooking oils in the entire day, and I was like, what is going on? And I thought about lowering the price because I thought, well, maybe I am deterring them a little bit by charging that much, and maybe I'll sell more if I have it a little bit cheaper. So I was going to do that, but I actually forgot to. And before I knew it, I was making the point that you could technically go and run to the store during the first little bit after you open your store. And I don't know what was going on with people, but they bought so many of the oils that I didn't have any oil boxes yet. And it was like after like my first day, I was out. Like that next day, I was completely out of them. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so I did do the bread. I know I got to do at least one more cereal. If not 2. Probably 2. We'll see. So it just goes to show that don't panic. Just ride through it. If you're not getting complaints, then leave it. Yeah, I'm going to go get another one. That 2 boxes doesn't count as another box. And we can afford it. Thanks to the wholesale store. Now, if you have the time to run for every single thing, go ahead. You will definitely make the best profit margin of anyone else playing the game. However, I do also believe that if it's a time thing for you, that it will take longer to do that. Well, I don't believe, I know it will. And later on, when you're ordering 20, 30, 40 boxes, like I wouldn't want to have to be running clear over there for that. No way, Jose. Okay, let's get 2 oils and call it good. At least from the wholesale store. And I am also still trying to find the right video output settings. I've had some of them come out nice and smooth and some of them come out jittery. And I don't know why. Because I have a much better system now than I did during COVID, and I am not running near the settings that I ran in COVID. I am doing AV1, because I've heard that works well with file size. I generally think I have it set to pretty good quality, but I am not a video editing expert. So for the most part, I don't have a clue. Okay, let's go to the computer. All right, let me show you some cheap stuff. So the pasta and the flour are both cheap. Those from there, because it's not that big of a difference. Oh, looks like I should have ordered another one of the pastas, and I will. But if it is jittery during the recorded video, just know that that's not the game itself. It's actually pretty rather Oh, if I could speak right, it's actually pretty well optimized. Optimized, yes. It's got my optimization here. It's pretty well optimized. There's little tiny lag spikes here and there, but not too bad. I used to think that they were auto saves, but to my understanding, I haven't even seen an auto save, so don't think it's that anymore. I don't know what's causing it, but there are some quality of life things that I'm hoping that they add. One of them is I wish they would let us choose. I wish they would do one of the two things. I wish they would let us choose the starting paint color for the walls, or I wish they would update it so that when we buy a store size upgrade, that if we have a new paint color on the wall, then it would go ahead and utilize that paint for the new addition. Because what sucks is that I'll spend money painting all that, and then when I buy a new addition, like let's say this is red, I buy a new addition right here, all those walls and the ones up front, up there, will be this yellow. And that is annoying as shit. All right. Midget Amber Heard is back. I don't have any toilet paper yet. Not going to be for a long time, okay? All right. I'm taking care of. For some of these ones that only have a couple. Oh, really? Huh. Okay. All right. One of the things I like to do as I'm going is you can see that this part right here is red when they first give you the money. And then once you've gotten it to where it's enough, it'll still stay red if you're 5 cents short, but once you have enough, or if you're going to give them too much, it'll still be green. So you still want to read it to make sure it's saying what it's supposed to. I've had some accidental times where I'll go over by like a nickel or a dime because I'm not really paying attention to what I'm clicking. Or if I accidentally click on something and then if I see it green, I just kind of hit it. So don't do that. Okay. Now they're going to show us how we got to clean the store. Because obviously stuff gets dirty. So icons up here indicates how dirty your store is. If the store becomes too dirty, you'll start losing store points. That is a big deal to me because store points are what is kind of like your experience that you get to your next store level. As you can see in the top right, it says store level 3. So we just cross that. You'll see that every time you do something, you get a little bit more and a little bit more. Now, for the greatest part of them all. Oh, yeah. That is the best, man. I love that. It just feels so right. It's kind of like when they give you exact change, like this guy. Person shopping while we're waiting. The next objective is to buy a crate. It's under tools. This is the crate. And they're going to show us how to use it and show us the wheel. Hold tab to open the tool wheel and pick the crate. This is the crate here. This is the only thing, this is the only box you can have multiple different products in. So you can pull one there and that. And you have them both. Isn't that kind of cool? You mostly use that with organization, like if you're moving stuff around and reorganizing your shelves. Really, really handy. What's up, bro? Ah, Midget Amber Heard. Alright. Dang it, my plan when I walked by her earlier, my plan was I was going to call her Tamara Slit, but she doesn't look enough like Taylor Swift. So I'm going to have to figure out a different celebrity for her to be. Doing pretty good. Let's get you up there. And if you're anything like me, you will have a never-ending battle on your mind. All right. Before I finish with that point, I need you to think long and hard about who this possibly could be. Not because I don't know, but because I have one in mind and I want to see if you can guess it. You up there. But the battle that you're going to face is you're always, and I mean always, going to have this thing in your head where you're going to see the boxes on the ground. And thankfully, once the stuff goes down in storage, you don't have to worry about it near as much. But you'll always have this issue where when you see it on the ground, you're like, oh my god, it looks like crap. I have to get it on the shelf. I get it on the shelf right now. And then when you load it up, no, I hate it when I do that. Oh well, gives me a chance to show you something. So you put something on the thing, boom, just left click right on it, it gets rid of it. Nice way to remove the tag. That's really important because you gotta act fast, because if you have a restocker helper, they will come and they will load that. It's everything else in the store. It's kind of funny. You could have 3 things that are almost out, and you could have these 2 shelves right here loaded to the brim, and they will still find a way to come dump a box of cereal right there, right after you click it. It's almost like they get teleporting powers, and I'm like, oh, now I need to do it. Drives me bonkers. Okay. Not walking close enough, not walking close enough. I want to say that we are done for the night. we're going to call that good. So, closed. Go to the next day. So that's the end of day 2. Satisfied customers 24. Wow, that's great. All right, so not as much profit today, but that's because we had to do the upgrade costs. And if you remember, we doubled up or even sometimes tripled up on several different boxes. So it's more so very, very cool that we're still be able to profit a decent chunk in our first couple days. Now, that will not always be green. We'll have red days. That's just part of the game. You in there. Okay. Now, I definitely want... Oh, yeah. Getting ahead of myself here. So, as I've mentioned before, and if I didn't, about to believe me instantly, but as I mentioned before, I have really bad memory. So if you have a giant store and you're trying to load stuff as fast as possible, you'd think it'd be really, really, really tough to remember where things are. And that would be accurate if your organization is crap. So definitely plan how you want to organize your store as you do it. On top of that, you kind of have to do that twice. And what I mean by that is you also have to organize your storage room. That is because it is no more beneficial to have a disorganized storage room than it is to have a disorganized store, because you got to know where stuff is in your storage room and in your store. And one of the things that kind of helped me to familiarize myself with my store and technically eventually the storage room, once I get that activated, is I actually match its organization. And I even start that behavior. If you haven't noticed, you're about to. But I even start that behavior now. So, like, my pasta will go there, that will go there, that will go there, and that will go there. That is so that it kind of helps, at least it helps me ingrain where stuff is located, so that when I see that I only have like one thing left or nothing left and nobody's complained yet and I want to prevent that, it allows me to have that lightning fast reflex. Let's get this going. We'll get the steak complete and we'll call it the first episode. I'm not done yet. I think it's funny how I told you that as I put the box in the corner when it wasn't the top shelf thing. Yay me! And also in the future, unless I'm using the moment to talk, I probably won't make you watch my trips back and forth to the wholesale store, because you'll get the point. You'll get the point. I'm going to get another box of this, just because. I don't usually have inventory problems with that, but man, if I do, because it's those smaller items like that, like, for some strange reason, I feel like the smaller physical size items, they get tempted to buy multiples of more. That's not confirmed or anything, but I'm sure you'll notice as we walk by vehicles, they're either all diesel or they all desperately need an oil change. Okay, let's open back up. Hit that light. Okay, and when I was talking about the bills earlier, you can go to management and bills, and this is where you can pay them. I'll go ahead and just do them right now, so it's instant. Get them out of the way. You don't have to do that. There's no penalty for not doing that. So when they talked about how if it gets to a certain point and you don't pay them, then it'll be charged automatically, at least as of right now in patch 1.0.2. That is not a concern because they don't penalize you. So in my opinion, just leave them be. You got other crap to do, like stock your shelves. Get insecure about what's possibly already low. But yeah, I'll sit here and I'll be like, ugh, this is a lot of boxes. I gotta get them off my floor. And then when I don't have any of them on my floor, I'm like, oh god, I don't have any inventory. I gotta get some boxes on my floor. It's just constant, you know? And not to mention, the you really do want to have them because there's wholesale and bulk buying and selling events that will get randomly. And last time, I actually did get it on day 3, which is the earliest ever. But it doesn't look like I'm going to get one today, which is fine. And then again, it is only 11:30. But the reason why you want to have the stock is because when they have like a wholesale buying opportunity where they have discounted goods, and it's not as good as if you were to buy it from the wholesaler that's down there. Haha, done. And if it's the bulk selling, then for instance, I got really, really lucky on mine that it was one of these, or it was 2 of these, 2 boxes of these. And don't forget, these are expensive right now. So I got to sell 2 boxes of that just in one little click. It was awesome. One other thing that I wish they would fix is, I don't remember it doing this back in the early access, but the spots you had to clean, like they're letting them spawn below our boxes. No, granted that won't be a factor once we have the storage room, but until then, that can get really annoying. Like, really. All right, have y'all figured out this guy out? I'm gonna let him go through the store this time. I'll review it on the next time. Let's get to it. Fine, no, it's your stuff. I'm pretty fast to clean up my store because I just like it that way. But if you are really busy and you see multiple things on the ground, You don't have to throw them away individually. You can all put them in the same trash bag. But like I said, I'm trying to get as fast as I can to the storage room. I'll show you at the end of the episode why I have to wait for so long. It's sad, really. I'll show you right now. So I want the storage room, and that would be in management, and then storage. You see, storage is $800 to unlock just that storage room. Can you believe that crap? Ugh. And then, if that's not bad enough, then I gotta go on to the furniture, because this is where you buy all like your shelves and stuff. And some people just use this one because this matches those shelves perfectly. But I'm a kind of a cheapie, and I don't want to spend $200 on another set of shelves when I can buy these twice, and I'll use most of the shelves, but I'll have some leeway. With the way that I play, I'll have some leeway by the time I unlock the food license that has some refrigerated goods. Oh, whoops. What do you mean you don't want to pay me $1,265? That's ridiculous. All right, see him? Yeah, you guessed it. That's Stoned Bro Shane Augustine. Yeah, I'm that corny. Can't have their actual names. And I don't know how much I have to switch it, so that's why I just switched them all. Oops. Got so used to doing the hash. But like I said before, if you want to help me out with naming the celebrities, then drop a comment. Make a suggestion. If it's spot on enough, then I'll take it. He's not walking close. They're walking away. Nobody's coming close. Okay, so that's the end of today. So let's go ahead and put our stuff up. I just now noticed this. Hopefully nobody complained. Then that would be a horrible, horrible example for y'all. Which honestly, I really, truthfully already am. Not trying to be. Pretty good day overall, I'd say. I'll show you here. See, leave it open. Wait, hang on. Can I have that satisfaction? Yeah. Love it. Oh, wait, don't want to do that yet. All right, so see how it's open. And I'm going to hit the enter to finish the day. All right, awesome. No missed money opportunities despite me not paying attention, so that's good. It is showing that we paid the rent and the bills because I did that manually to show you. But we're up to $521 after day 3, which is awesome. And I think that, oh, here's a good thing to explain before I go. So over there on the right, you saw that there's a price increase. And if you remember, I showed you that you could do your prices from here. But that's going to be few and far between because it's way better to just go to your computer and hit pricing. And here's why. Anytime you get those price increases, or sometimes there are even decreases, this has them all shown at the same time. And the reason why that's great is because people like me with horrible memory, I would try and read because sometimes you'll get like 2 or 3 of them. And sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 of them, and later on you're going to have some doubles of some stuff. So you'll have different kinds of pasta, different kinds of powdered sugar, another kind of flour, like a fancier flour. And really, in all honesty, like when you're running around trying to do stuff as fast as you can, or even if you're not, like it's still a challenge. The only thing that you can ever remember is flour or pasta. And so then you'd have to go and you'd have to manually click on the tags and blah, 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 like that's how I used to do it. And then I found this and I felt so dumb. This makes it so much easier. So let's go ahead and do this. Markup price of $7.18. Let's just go $7.35. That's not too bad, right? 17 cents over. Let's do it. All right, everything else is going to be normal. I will show you the licenses here. So this is the one that I was talking about that requires the fridge. And so that is why I don't want to do that, and why you don't want to do that right off the bat. Because see here it says store level 3. Well, I'm store level 4, and I have $521. And don't forget, as soon as you buy this license, your people will expect you to have this on your shelves, and you will get penalized for it. I want to say it probably affects your store points at the end of the day or something. But regardless, it's not good. So you don't want to have that happen. And on top of that, even if you somehow got mega lucky and sold some bulk stuff, 4 out of the 6 things that come in this are refrigerated. And check this out. Double fridge. $375. So you not only have to buy this stuff, which I'm telling you right now, it's kind of expensive. You buy the stuff, and then you put it in there, and yeah, it's nasty. But all right, that's gonna do it for episode 1. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it and want to watch again, then feel free to like and subscribe. But otherwise, we'll see you next time.